Hey guys, this is Aaron here. It's been a while since I did a deck profile. Um, so kind of during the December, kind of January, Christmas, New Year's break, I was kind of just looking up some nostalgic cards, kind of like Toon cards or Gravekeeper's Dark Magician. Decided to just make an update of my deck profile because my last one that I uploaded was from several years ago, and I just want to, you know, just update just for old time's sake, just for fun, so I can kind of look back at it and see how the deck has progressed over the years. So here goes the deck profile. First up, it's pretty staple. I put three commandants. Oh, before I go further into the deck profile, this is more of a straightforward Gravekeeper's deck, kind of for the 2020 casual, competitive, just for fun format, kind of for December and January 2021 as well. So there's that. Just letting you know, it's not super competitive. It's mostly just for fun for me and with a couple other friends. So I'm just kind of giving you an example before I keep going. I play against friends that play old Chaos decks like 2005 Cookie Cutter Chaos, or I have friends that play Salman Grade and more casual Shadal kind of dinosaur decks. So it's kind of fun going kind of anti-meta against them. So again, mostly straightforward with a little bit of anti-meta splashed in. That's how I like to play this kind of deck. One of my favorite decks, probably my favorite deck, Gravekeepers, aside from Dark Magician. So here's another pretty staple. Some people like to run through Gravekeeper Spy. Some people like to run two. Some people just throw it out and just run completely something different. But I've always ran Gravekeeper Spy in my deck very since the beginning. I think Gravekeeper was one of my first consistent decks when I played back in 05, 06. And I really like the archetype. It's just a great old school archetype, which is still pretty competitive if you build it the right way, if you have enough money to throw at it. But yeah, I like Spy. Just keep it there. Another good search card. And next three would be Gravekeeper's Recruiter. I like Recruiter. I like Witch of the Black Forest. I like Sanguine. Therefore, I like Recruiter. So some people would say this is kind of a slow card, but I like it anyways. I mean, I'm not playing super competitive tier 1 or anything, so I mean, it's a good search card. Next for the Gravekeeper list, I have two Gravekeeper Spiritualists. Some people like to run three. From the hours and hours of playtesting over the years, I like two Spiritualists. I do not like three because it gets too cloggy. I don't want to see multiples of it in the beginning of the game. And I don't want to top deck into it if I don't have anything on the board. Because if you top deck into this, kind of like the Descendant, if you top deck into a Spiritualist or you top deck into this, you can't really do anything. So, yeah, it's just two of that. One Descendant for outs. And I have one Headman. For the main deck, usually I either run one or Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro or EDO Pro, I run a second one. It just depends on what I feel like. If I feel like going into more combos, I might run two. Three is a bit much to me. Again, I kind of don't want to open up with this unless I'm going into combos with Spy in the next turn or Spy into Headman into this and then combo into the Supernaturalist. But yeah, usually I like one in my main deck. You can try two, even three, but I don't like three. Three's too much for me, in my opinion. But you can do whatever you like. Okay, so as I said earlier, I play a bit of anti-meta. This is probably one of my favorite cards ever, Fossil Dyna. I'm not going to say the other word because I'm going to butcher the spelling, but I love Fossil Dyna. I mean, no one can special summon monsters. I mean, how many tier 1 and 2 decks do you know that special summon? Almost everything special summons nowadays. Almost everything uses this effect. That's why I really like the effect. Sometimes I might switch this out for maybe Majesty's Fiend or Vanity's Fiend. Again, I really like anti-meta cards that don't allow your opponent to play effects, cards that don't allow your opponent to special summon. So I really like these two cards. This is a little bit more practical, but because it doesn't use a tribute. This requires a tribute, but it's a bigger body on the board, and it looks a little bit nicer, so yeah, there's that. Another one, I like Thunder King Ryle too. Some people say this is a little slow, and that's the reason I run this deck, because it's It's kind of like a slower pace, more casual competitive, slightly more anti-meta deck. So I really like, yeah, reason why I run a Gravekeepers is because I used to run against a Chaos deck, Cutter Chaos deck with CED, Yada, um, Envoy of the Beginning. So I really hated those cards. I mean, they're good. Chaos cards are, old school Chaos cards are good, but I just didn't like playing against it back in high school. I had a good friend of mine just wrecked me every time with CED and Yada lock. So I decided my main deck to go to for the rest of my life would be Gravekeepers. Alright, into the spells. So I think that was like 15 or 16 monsters. Spells is pretty straightforward. The usual Gravekeeper stuff and search cards. So three Necro Valley. Enough said, you need the card. Some people run two, and maybe was it two of the commandants? Yeah, some people run three Necro Valley, two commandants, and then terraforming. I just like three because three commandants with three Necro Valleys, so it's more consistent. I want to bring this card out as early as possible because without this card, it's a little harder to play pure Gravekeepers. Again, some people like some more anti-meta with, was it that Nibiru card, the Rock card, or some Ash Blossom Infinite Impermanence. I don't like hand traps. I don't really play meta, so that's why I'm playing this. Next, 3 Necro Valley Throne. I really like this card. I'm glad they had added more search cards into the Gravekeeper set or theme, so I really like this one. Stable as a 3-of. Old school search card. I still like Pot of Duality. I play casual. I like Pot of Duality. It doesn't deck doesn't special summon that much. I like to run a lot of traps. So this deck has kind of a weakness against trap negation or magic and trap removal. Kind of weakness against Tornado Dragon, Twin Twister, and all those Cyclone cards. So you're gonna see quite a lot of pretty good traps, or at least in my opinion, good classic traps. Card Destruction. Some people don't like this anymore. I run it because it's a super rare from the original Yugi starter deck, so I really like this card. It's like some cards I don't want to see, I just dump it and then I revive it with the Headman or the translation Cleric. What do you call this thing? Gravekeeper's Headman. Yeah, the Japanese translation is Gravekeeper's Cleric. I like the Japanese translation so much more. Let's see. Next one, Gravekeeper Stell. I used to run 2 of this a couple years back, but I feel like now in the state you don't need you cycle through the cards pretty fast, so you only need 1 really, and then making more space for other cards. Making my way down. Raigeki, monster removal. Depending on which deck you're running against, you could take this out for other cards. Again, Ash Blossom, Call to the Grave, that kind of stuff, Raigeki and Dark Hole. I just like it because I always like the Hollow. I always like the Pegasus common one from the structure deck, the OCG one. So this brings a lot of good memories. Yeah, so feel free to take these out if you don't like regular destruction. I like regular destruction for a more casual method. I'll put 2 MST. I don't like to use Twin Twister in Gravekeepers because you need as many of the Gravekeepers as you can in your hand. If you're running straight Gravekeepers or anti-meta ish Gravekeepers, because you want to combo this into the supernatural list. You don't want to be dumping all your Gravekeepers all the time, or you'll be missing your combo pieces. You can replace one of that. If you have some more money, you can get the super shiny Harpy's Feather Duster. I just don't want to take this out of the sleeve because it's a Japanese one, and I really like. I had a lot of nostalgia with the Japanese one growing up because I used to have one of these, but I sold it and I got it back and it's like, ooh, it's lovely. I like it. So you can replace MST with one of these if you like, or maybe even Lightning Storm. I kind of don't like Lightning Storm as much though because you need like no cards on the field, and that's kind of lame. Put this on the side. Onto the traps. I have 3 Solemn Judgments. So these are the 3 from Metal Raiders. So this is one of my favorite traps ever. Aside from probably Mirror Force, Magic Cylinder, and some of the other negation cards like Dark Bribe. I really like Dark Bribe too. It's not as good as it was before, but Dark Bribe's still pretty good. It's just Solemn Judgment, I feel like it's so much better. Literally, this thing is live anytime. It doesn't matter if you have like 20 life points, if you have 100 life points, if you have 1,000, 2,000 life points. You can use it anytime you want, as long as it's set in the floor. Again, it's not as strong as those evenly matched Typhoon kind of cards where you can play it from your hand, but depending on what matchup you're playing against, I play mostly against Chaos, against my friend, the older format cards, and then I play more like kind of rogue tier, Salamangreat, kind of Shadow, Dante, those kinds of decks. So this card tends to be pretty good against them. I love the artwork for this card, classic MRDs. Next, more strikes, more solemn cards. As you can tell, I love solemn cards because they stop anything. I like playing anti-meta. Solemn Strike, 3 of them. I mean, it's pretty good for this format. I heard a late 2020 format, 2021 format, people are going more into slightly more back row heavy decks rather than pure monster effects. So, I mean, the format's always changing on and off, year round. Sometimes there's more traps, sometimes there's more monster effects. So it depends on how many traps you want to put in a deck. Some people don't like traps, so they play less. But since this is a lower tier deck and it's more for control, I like the strong Solemn Brigade, all the Solemn stuff. Also have a Solemn Warning too. Let's switch this out for something else. I don't know. Yeah, it's good against like ritual decks too, but I don't think many people play rituals that much right now. Quickie Mirror Force. I like to run 2 on Dev Pro, or not Dev Pro, Yu-Gi-Oh Pro. But I have one up for this. I have another one in the Toon deck. But you can switch this out if you don't like this, or Torrential right here. So yeah, I have an Ultra Torrential. I have another Labyrinth of Nightmare Torrential Tribute in my binder. But I'm just using this one for now because I don't want to use my LON one. Last trap, I have Imperial Tombs of Necro Valley. I like this card. I think 2014 is when I got back into the game. I quit in 2010. I came back 2014. Started in 2002, and way in the beginning of the game when the Kaiba and Yugi Star decks came out in the US. And then my friends were playing Uzichi cards. Yeah, 2002, 2006 to 2007. That was my prime years for Yu-Gi-Oh! Quit, came back in 2014, and this came out in 2014. I was like, oh, what's good with Gravekeepers nowadays? 2014. People used to run like 3 of this. I think 3 is too much. Some people like 2 or 3 as well, as well as that one trap card that helps you bring Necro Valley back. I feel like that other trap card, I forgot the name. It just feels a little situational. So I like this for some searchability with a fusion card, the Supernaturalist. This guy right there. I like this card. It stops your Necro Valley from being destroyed. So good card. So I just have one of these so this guy can search it out. So pretty good card, pretty good. I wouldn't run it as more than 2 of. I used to have 2 of these, but I felt like 1 is enough for me. It gets kind of cloggy too if you don't have the right amount of cards on the field. Let's see. Okay, to the side deck. Oh, not the side deck, extra deck. I have 2 of these. If you're running more competitive, slightly more on kind of like a local level, I'd probably say at least run 2 or 3 of these, depending on how many you have and what kind of format you're building. For Big Eye, just in case you need to, fuse all these together into Big Eye and just jack their monster. Draco Sack, this is for fun. Don't run this if you're playing competitive. I like it because it'll blow up stuff like Raigeki. Castel, usual rank 4s, number 101 Honor Arc, Dweller. You can run Exciton, Cowboy, so all this stuff right here. This is usual, kind of rank 4 stuff. So to the side deck, I have a Heretic. I have a Gravekeeper's Heretic. I have a second one in my binder, but I just keep one in my side deck in case people run heavy magics or spells or traps. The Silent, I switch this out with sometimes with maybe like a Recruiter or something for fun. Because one of my friends, he has the Chaos Dragon deck when it was tier 1, 2012, 2013. And he also has 6 Samurai. So this thing is good against Shien. Yeah, so you can tell what kind of meta I played back then. Old school meta. Overall Tribute, I don't really use this much. Again, it's for fun. This is good against Chaos Dragons. This is just for fun. I mean, you can kind of combo this, kind of like a Monster Reborn. You can combo it with, what is it? this guy, and then this guy, and then you can just combo it with also the spy. So all this stuff, it helps you summon a bunch of the other stuff to combo into other Gravekeeper stuff. Stuff. Okay, so that's the end of the deck profile. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something new, and take care and Happy New Year. Bye.